I think that's my purpose, is to finally have this new experience and more experiences with nature, since I don't really have that in Chicago. My name is Abigail Pio. I attend Phoenix Military Academy at Chicago, Illinois, and I'm very excited to be here.
At Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore, the National Park Service teamed up with No Barriers Youth to educate high school students, like Abby, about the climate change impacts that are affecting the park and how the park is responding. Abby and her peers met with park rangers and other experts in the field to see firsthand the issues facing national parks in light of climate change.
I really don't have these kinds of experiences. Chicago is very city-like. All you see is skyscrapers and a lot of people and a lot of chaos downtown. Going away from that and all the noises of cars and more into nature, and instead of listening to cars, then you listen to birds. We went straight into working with the amphibians and the scientists. I never thought I was going to go into the pond and put on these really high boots, and they're like, oh, you're actually gonna go in the water and you're going to catch these amphibians. And I've never touched a tadpole, so it was my first time ever. I've been in nature and in tents and all that, but I've never really had connection to an animal before. Then after that, we went on a hike and we went to like a museum. The night hike, we had different plants being pointed out, and then we also heard this scary story and some history about Indiana. I've never really taken hikes that long, so it was pretty new. And then we also visited this prairie, and then we learned how there's the differences between that and then the trees around it, and how different effects in nature made the two different kinds of environments. I really like the hike, so it was really new for me.
For 2 days, Abby and her peers would not only learn about the effects of climate change, but learn how to teach climate change to fourth graders from local elementary schools and inspire them to take what they learn and help make a difference.
I'm really excited actually, because I'm in the Photo Boys group, which means that we take pictures and then we connect it to climate change. So I like to work with children, and then I also want to see like what things they could be interested in. So for example, I like to take a lot of pictures of flowers, but I want to see what they like and try to see their connections to it. So it's just about me learning about them, but also helping them learn. We went in the art station, we learned, and then we did hiking as well. So then we had Kim help us and point out some flowers or some sites that might be interesting, to have a 1 minute stopped for them to take pictures, and then us help them guide them through the hike. So it's just about practicing the whole activity. I want them to go out and to tell their parents about it, to tell their family members about it, and to tell them what they learned. And then in the future, maybe when they grow up, they could be, oh, I want to be that one student that taught me how to point out different flowers or point out different plants or animals in the future.
On the third day, fourth grade students from a nearby elementary school arrived at the national park, eager to learn about climate change from their newly minted scientist teachers.
My day has been magical. Having the fourth graders come, it really motivated me to have that impact on children. We had them do a little 15-minute hike. Every 5 minutes we had 4 stops. So the first stop was at the wetland, and then it was a burned tree. So we asked them, what happened to this tree? What colors do you see? And it was the black, and there was some charcoal, so you could see that the kids could notice that it was burned. And then some children even said, oh, it was a controlled fire. Like, just hearing those 2 words was just magical. I didn't even think they could know that. We could see all the children writing, and some children were drawing, and it was just seeing their imagination go wild, and it was such an amazing feeling. Climate change is real, and that those words that we see in textbooks are actually happening in real life. Not only learn about it, but to do something about it, and it's never late to take the action. We then had all of us come together and then hear their side of their stories about how we can help the earth. At the end, we all had like our own group give one last time about how this experience has been so amazing. So then it went to more melancholic for me, and I was almost crying. the national parks and all barriers made an amazing job at having this staff come and help us at every step of the way.